¿Qué onda, Happy?
Oye, Mamalonskis, ¿unos tacos o qué?
Pues vamos por unos pinches tacos modernos. Mic check, mic check. We're back to Spicy Tacos.
Episode 17.
17. You know 17 is one of my favorite numbers?
Is it? Why?
No, te creas.
What is your favorite number?
So my favorite number is 21 because growing up I would watch the Spurs, Tim Duncan.
I thought Deion Sanders.
No, pues también, pero pues it was more.
Yeah. My favorite
Duncan.
number is 33
Why?
because like in 2018 I was 33 and I had come off retreat. It was like the first time I actually read the Bible and was like into all that, and Christ was 33 and it became 30. 33 is a badass number. You also divide 1, right, by 3. Yeah, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, 33. Or 0.33.
And you know what's crazy?
What?
Tomorrow I turn 33.
You do. Es cierto. What is it? February 6th?
5th.
5th.
Yeah, me and my dad.
I would think your favorite number was 5. Entonces, I went to the lake, right?
Es que, mira, 5, like, you know, when you play sports, I was always a big kid. Pues un 5, so chiquillo. I needed another number.
You need a big number.
Yeah.
I went to the lake y
Uh-huh.
le enseñas, I have a pass, right? Y le enseñas tu ID and you give the pass and the guy gives it back and he's like, is your favorite number 5? And I said, no, like, why? He said, all your 3 names have 5 letters in it. Oscar, Cesar, Perez. We're Cesar's, dude. Tocayos. Did you know? I had told you
Yeah.
that, no? Okay. Welcome.
And my middle name is Oscar. No, te creas. Mira, prepárate un taco y ahorita te voy a...
No,
I'm going to start with a question.
it's...
Let's see.
Antes que empieces, dude, tell me a little bit about the podcast. Lo que estabas comentando, like
¿De qué?
how we record, how eventually like you record your own video, and how you said now you have it on video, como de lo que dices, so it's more accountable.
Ah, okay. Yeah, because I don't know if we said last time, but pues you know how como va que you're always good to give advice, but you never listen to your own advice. But like here, pues you're recording it and then you see it later and you're like, oh shit, you know.
Dije eso.
Ajá.
Sí, güey, dicen, do you know who Jordan Peterson is?
Sounds familiar. Es primo de Adrian Peterson.
Sí. Is that the Vikings? Yeah, running back, right? No, Jordan Peterson's a professor, dude. He se conoce mucho, like, por internet. And he basically calls, like, people out and, like, take on responsibility. But he talks about when you say something, right? You'll feel it. Like, do I really believe what I just said, right? Entonces, I think a podcast does that. ¿Por qué?
Wait, but like at Chile, so let me just open this.
Yeah, it's louder here than when I produce it.
So and it's funny because, like, I guess that could be a question or not a question, but it's I guess a topic. So porque te das un taco. So whenever, like, as a real estate agent, you know, there's times where, you know, you get advice from a realtor, like to buy a house or to invest in real estate. But, like, sometimes they don't have a house that they own.
Or realtor.
Yeah, realtor. And it's fine. You know, so there's some that are just starting off. So they're trying to get their feet wet. And, you know, their goal, obviously, is eventually buy a house. And then, you know, also in investing. Like, oh, it's because I know this and that. But I think firsthand experience, I think is a bit better to give like better feedback or explanation of, hey, you know, I recommend, you know, when people ask me about investments, like, okay, well, what are you looking for? Y luego ya de ahí te puedes decir, like, okay, pues I recommend this. If you're trying to do this, pues do this and this. Whereas, you know, I think about it and like someone that has never really done investments, you know, I feel like can be a little bit more pushy. Just like, hey, yeah, was it? You know, it makes sense.
Go take the risk.
Uh-huh.
Because they probably never, yeah.
Yeah, but why don't you take the risk? You know, I mean, and there's numbers to play with as far as like, you know, if you're getting like big properties, like you go off of cap rate. So you can rate a property by just looking at the numbers. But, you know, there's obviously a big difference between just seeing the numbers as like, this is what the numbers look like, and for that to actually happen. You know, you have ¿qué pasa cuando se te salen los tenants? You know, a bunch of stuff like that isn't really mixed into the cap rate usually. So
if they don't know that,
putting in like first-hand experience, kind of like, hey, pues you know what, like, yeah, this is what the numbers say, pero pues no se te olvide incluir, you know, this or that, or you know, things like that.
Oye, y ahorita que te estoy escuchando, so part of the podcast, I was producing, dude. And se nos veía aquí, güey, como que estábamos llorando todo el episode.
Really?
But it's because of the lights. And the lights put like a little glare. And it really looked like we were crying the whole time, dude. But we weren't.
Wait, I don't know if I should try the... I'll just start with the...
Wait, las pinzas? Oh, hold on, they're here.
I'm going to try the... Oh, la madre. Oh, it's because la chequeé. La salsa, ¿qué es? Verde. La sana culita de rana. Esta chile, güey, because I've eaten the salsa with like chilaquiles. Que la... y está con madre, güey.
I tried it with the bacon huevo tacos, güey.
It's good, right?
Yeah, it's badass. Y también la de habanero.
The habanero, I think habanero one is my favorite.
Yeah. Oye, a ver, ¿qué? Yeah, start with the...
Yeah, I on topic. This one's pretty good. What was the grind worth it? Like, was the working like worth it? In your case, I mean, you also work to get, you know, to be in the position you're in.
Oh, and I want to share that, dude, because one of the things that I stay away from, y lo has visto, es como decir de lo que hago. I'll say retail and all that. But to share where I can is, yeah, I'm a leader of people, dude. And yes, it took me a while. I worked retail 20 plus years. And so, was it worth it? I mean, I think it was. Why? Because when hablando de eso, because it pushes me. It pushed me. I'll tell you this, dude. Before I started being like leading people, I wouldn't read like on psychology and how to understand people. And now it's paying off, dude. I was sitting with Bella. Y vi un video, güey, of it's a psychologist, and they're talking about how fear shapes us. Or no, how our nervous systems get shaped. So because of like reading books and all that, I'm all into that stuff, dude. A little hasta aburre, güey. Like, it's not for everyone, but a mí me gusta leerlo. And it's helped me a lot in retail to help others and understand them. So I was sharing with Bella that video, dude. So basically they're playing with a kid, dude. He's smiling, and then the adult starts playing with some like little rocks and putting them in a jar. And she's like, and he's smiling. So she's putting them in. Okay, cool. Another adult enters, and she's like, I'm just going to sit right here next to you.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And she's like, oh, I'm just putting rocks in a glass or whatever. She puts it, and she's like, stop that. That's very annoying. And the kid is like, and then, okay. She's like, okay, stops, and gives it to the kid, bro. And he never puts the rocks in the thing because he was afraid that they're going to do that. And I think reading psychology and all that, I'm all into that shit, dude. I think it's part of the podcast journey. Y por qué me gusta todo este pedo. But was it worth it? Yes, because I think it pushed me. Porque llegas a un límite donde you're just doing the basics. And then how do you become more, almost like real estate, I guess. You're a realtor, and then you're like, I want a team. I don't know. But for you, has it been worth it? Well, yeah, in real estate or... ¿A dónde se fue? Tu mente, one thing I've noticed is that, dude, you're able to like reflect quickly, como hablar como like almost like life experience, like family, and my mind goes a lot to like business and creativity, and it's like You get me? Pero ahorita,
Yeah.
when you're reading that question, he says, like, was the hard work, was it work?
A grind.
Was the grind worth it? Where did your brain go there?
So my brain went to what I've been able to, provide for, for my family. And I think it's worth it. Well, I know it's worth it. Um, we've been able to, have trips as a family. Have our house. When we bought our house, our second house, where we are right now. One thing is, I always wanted to have like my parents built a pool and their house, but when they built it, pues yeah, it was like, yes, yo ya estaba más grande. But my little sister, and I feel like she enjoyed it more because ella estaba más chiquita. So I wanted, a lot of people are like, chinga pools, que es hueva, maintenance, esto, que el otro, y ni las usan, this and that. And, maybe we don't use it as much. But the times that we do use it, like, we really enjoy it. Like, you see the kids running around, jumping in the pool, coming up with, like, little games to play. And, all that is, those moments when you're kind of just, like, relaxing. And, like, you see
You've created.
your kids having a good time. All that is part of, your grind. And I feel like I've been able to enjoy like the fruits of the grind, and I want to keep pushing. And I was talking to my barber, the one that was cutting my hair. He I was telling him about basic kind of like that, like the grind. I'm about to be 33. I want to be able to like retire at a certain age without, and I'm probably gonna still work. I enjoy what I do and stuff.
That keeps you alive.
But to be able to not feel the necessity to like, hey, I need to work because I have to provide. Be able to, that's why we're buying properties. We buy property, and yeah, when they get to a certain age, and we can live off of our properties and whatnot. That's the ultimate goal, to kind of be able to, you got to keep on grinding.
And you were telling him that.
You can't be in that. I mean, it's sad because I know people that are in like a pity party.
Yeah.
That like, oh no, it's because this happened to me. Like, you wouldn't understand. Like, oh, I went through this growing up, or I did this, and I'm never gonna get this, or me pasó esto, or me pasó lo otro. And it's like, okay, like everyone, and I understand, like, and that's the psychology behind everything.
Yeah.
Like, everyone has their story. Everyone has their background. Everyone's been through something, maybe worse than others. But, you can't really measure what's worse because everyone takes things differently. I can call you a name and you'll be like, whatever. But I can call, let's say Tanya. I can call her a name and she'll take it different.
Oh, yeah.
So it's the same action but different reaction, or different, I guess you could say, outcome or result. So you can't really, I empathize for people that have gone through stuff, but I don't let that define, like, don't let that be what's defining your life and where it's heading or where you're going to head.
One thing I want to ask you this. So I was reflecting on our last episode, right? Y que estábamos hablando y te estaba diciendo, like, when we were talking and you were talking about the YouTube stuff, we were talking about algorithm. Y yo estaba de que, I want to start it y todo. And I was telling you that, dude, I felt attacked, right? Like, but inside, you weren't, when you see the episode, it doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
But inside, there's that version in us that might carry that story and be like, no, I'm just busy, or like, I'm being strategic y nunca lo haces, right? And it's like, and then I was thinking, dude, like, sometimes you'll create the excuse, right? Because it's something, it's easier.
Yeah.
Like I can never be that person. I could never.
Because even that, like, the algorithm, like you talking about the algorithm can be like a
story.
Yeah, unconscious or a subconscious way of like a pity party type.
Oh, of course.
Like, sabes que no, pues this is my excuse.
Y now I'm framing it out. Y lo que estaba pensando que no te dije es de que Okay, porque me vi y while I'm producing that, which I get to do this twice, the conversation.
You listen to it.
Because when I'm producing it, I'm kind of like going through it. But anyway, y lo que estaba viendo, güey, es de que I'm like, why do I feel like that? Because it's almost like I feel like a beginner when I'm doing this stuff, especially trying to do like a brand or something. Y es como que it's out of my comfort zone because I have it figured out in my career.
Yeah.
That is kind of like, I know that, right? But when
Exactly.
I'm here, me siento así. And I was like, hell no, dude. Like, I'm not gonna feel like that. Like, I have to just have the same mindset that I have, like, at work, right? Where I move through an obstacle. Like,
Yeah.
you use it, and then you move forward. It's the same thing here. And stop the excuse making, because you called it like sometimes it's excuses. Like
Yeah.
people will not do the stuff because the excuse might be judgment or whatever. And I was thinking that, dude, that I need to embrace the mindset of like building.
Yeah.
Como ahorita que te sentaste and you're like, la idea que hiciste, like where you could have segments.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like your brain's just creating.
And the thing is, like, was those segments, like it's just an idea, and then okay, but it's an idea. Let's see how it works out. Execute the idea. Si te jala con madre, si no te jala, pues now you know. Okay, just you at least tried it.
Sí, güey.
Porque every idea that I've had as far as like types of videos or this and that, pueden que lleguen a algo o no. But at least in my type of or my line of business in real estate, como te digo, like it's if that video, like let's say the shittiest video as far as like views and whatever it is, like those videos, si de las, I don't know, 1,000 personas que la vieron, uno de ellos quiere comprar, and for some reason it landed on like that where they saw it, and they reach out to me, it was all worth it.
Of course. It's like the one connection that needs to get done.
Exactly. And that's what people don't understand. Like people are like, oh, in order for you to get business, you need to get like a bajillion views, no, like someone's gonna see it, and that's why it goes back to consistency.
Yeah. And it's crazy porque te digo, como te digo, like when I'm processing that, I have written that before. I've posted that before. Consistency is the only thing that matters. But when it gets to the okay, you need to do the thing, you fall back.
You find something.
Yeah, you find something to do that. Shit, you were saying something. Dude, you were saying something. It triggered a thought, and I was gonna ask you about it. Oh, y fue otra cosa. I didn't make it on the episode. And I'm thinking podcast because that was one thing that I heard like when I'm recording.
Yeah.
I'm like aware, right, that there's like cameras and all that. But more than that, dude, like there's one thing you said like that didn't make it on the episode. It was after the conversation. And you said, es que te la tienes, es como que no te crees that you're creative.
Yeah.
Like me. And I'm justifying like this podcast or... Yeah. And it's important to be like, you have to believe yourself before anyone. Right? And it's kind of like, it goes back to the ideas. Like you're like, I think it'll be a good idea. I'm going to put it out there. We'll see if it gets done.
It's just like in like when I started in real estate, I really didn't have anyone that really believed in me. Everyone wanted me to like go the
traditional like path, like
because I was gonna go into like a government agency, and when I was like, hey, I'm gonna do this full time, everyone's like, hey, pues you have 2 degrees, why don't you use your degree to get some type of other job or this or that. And it's like, even people close to me didn't believe in me. The only one that really believed in me was Tanya.
Yeah.
And she could believe in me, but I have to also believe in myself. So I was just like, hey, ¿sabes qué? Pues this is what I want to do. I believe I can make it happen. My first year in real estate, I sold, I think it was like 3-4 homes. Okay, pues that's not enough. If you just do that, that's not enough to just, support a family and everything. So I just believed in myself and just kept on being consistent and like, we call it like your money making activities. Porque te puedes hacer güey en la oficina. You know?
What are money making activities? Like in real estate or what?
Yeah. So like, there's a lot of busy work, and there's also like money making activities, which is making your phone calls, messaging people, posting. There a bunch of stuff that you can do is just go to the office y hacerte way. It was funny because we have a group chat with like the agents from the office. Y pusieron un video que they were una chava puso, aquí estamos que en un listing, que esto que el otro, because she just got a listing. And it was her, another 3 people. Y yo nada más cagando palo, I was like, wow, so you need 4 people to put a lockbox and a sign. Because she already got in the listing. So,
do you think people get caught up in that and just like content, like random little things like that?
no, es que a veces, you go to the office y, hey, ¿qué onda? You start kind of just hablando, platicando. And like the thing is in real estate, like you really don't have anyone to tell you like, hey, get back to work,
You have to be like self-disciplined.
Exactly. O sea, ¿quién te va a decir, hey, get back to work? You have this and this and this to do.
Did you ever struggle with that, dude? Like the first years?
The first years, I think it was more because I didn't know what to do. So, and the thing is, the mistake I guess some people can do is like, all right, just ask questions like, hey, what do I do? And when you're starting off, you're gonna do the stuff that not a lot of people like to do, like open houses on the weekends, making the phone calls of especially if you're new agent, like making phone calls, like introducing yourself, like, hey, just to your family and friends, de perdido. Like, hey, just wanted to let you know, I'm a licensed real estate agent now. If you're ever in the market to buy, sell, invest, or anything, just let me know. I'm here to help you out, and we can guide you through the process.
Yeah. Are you that strategic, güey? I'm gonna take this like in a. Are you that strategic? Donde ahorita vamos a decir que I have Bella. She's a teenager, and we're like you and I are friends, right? Eventually, Bella will buy a home, right? So that's also how business happens, right? Like,
yeah,
the dad buys, and then you become the realtor for everyone.
Well, it's a good thing you bring it up because there's a misconception in that as well. Because just because I know you doesn't mean like, y a veces it happens a lot. Because I know you and I feel like, I don't even have to tell you. Like, a huevo me lo vas a mandar. But you get me? And it's just, you always have to remind people. Like, hey, just acuérdate, güey, do real estate. So especially when you kind of notice like, hey, she's getting settled or this or that. Porque lo que pasa es, let's say, you have kids, they get older, se encuentra una pareja, and then that's when they're gonna, buy a house or whatever. That other side of the family, they might have a realtor too.
They have Mamalonskis too.
So, you gotta be there and be like, hey, if you're ever looking for a house, you have to be the one. You have to ask for business. Like this, y que pinche a veces gente feel like they deserve the business without asking. It's like, pues,
without the work,
exactly,
like without the grind.
Exactly. It's just like, hey, like, just bring it up every once in a while. Like, hey, ¿qué onda? ¿Cómo estás? Especially people that, no sé, porque sí ha pasado mucho, güey, que they just feel like they deserve it. It's like, hey, wait, put a little effort, no nomás como que, no, pues ya. Pero sí hay gente que, pues, ya depende,
But they're strategic like that. Get a taco, dude.
Pásame una tortilla. What scares you more, slowing down or burning out? Pásame la salsa.
Habanero.
Yeah. What scares you more, burning out?
I've done both.
Or slowing down?
Have you done both?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I mean, they're both kind of scary.
Yeah, and scary might not be the
proper term.
But which one do you watch out for more, I guess? Yeah, right, but it's scary. It's kind of you're watching out for it.
I think burning out, because you can slow down a bit just to kind of like be mentally sane. I think it's more than burning out. I just feel like it could be like a mental breakdown or like, yeah, estás fastidiado and you don't perform the same way. So slowing down, I think, is a little bit better just to kind of adjust.
For me, I'll share, dude. So, I was sharing, was working retail. Pandemic happens, right? And well, the world we came to like a halt, right? But I kept on working, so I was never like, oh, stay home, all that. And a lot of communication was coming. Like, how do we stay functioning, dude, and stay open? And then I was leading people through that, and I also started doing was creative stuff at home. I was doing like 3D art and all this crap. Pero I remember feeling like I was burned out. That and it was actually something that even was communicated to us, like to watch out for that type of stuff, right? Because you're having to make decisions on the go, dude. Como the first person that, maybe contracted like COVID. Like, what are the protocols? There weren't protocols. And thus you're trying to be like, how do you do it? And then, dude, that was eventually was coupled con my grandma passed that 2020, dude. Like July. I didn't see her the last months, like of her living like in person way.
Damn.
And yeah, pero porque nos estamos aislando y todo. So I'm working and kind of I was trying to, I guess, just stay still busy with the creative stuff. And I feel I've said it like that. I burned out. Now, burnout has symptoms with like it's like you hit on it. Slowing down doesn't have symptoms. You actually get to relax. Maybe you feel a little como pull, the anxiety, de que oye, wait, tengo que hacer más. Because I think you and I have talked about like where you're hanging out somewhere, you want to be present, but I mean your brain is like, oh, I could do a lot with this time, right?
Yeah.
Like whatever it is. But slowing down doesn't have the consequences, dude, or the symptoms that burnout has. Burnout is like you question, like, am I
Question
focused
todo.
in the right thing, right?
Yeah.
Why can't I handle this? Es lo que te está diciendo, like me processing that, like, es como que te juzgas, like, dude, why can you handle this? It's just work, you know? That's why I think I agree with you that burnout is one that can make you question things that aren't really there. You're just tired. You need to slow down, actually do the opposite.
Yeah, dude. I had a coach, and it was like she was kind of talking about a coach for real estate, and she gave me a very simple, like, I guess, analogy you could say, and it was, I guess, kind of tailored to like, burning out or slowing down, or like restarting, like, because there's times where people build teams and they don't build them the right way, and it's like, pues ya estoy aquí, ni modo.
You're doing all of it.
Like, I'm already here, I'm doing it, ni modo, like, yeah. And she would mention like where she's had people like, hey, they got rid of their entire team, restarted like fresh from everything, like, hey, I'm gonna start from the beginning again, making sure I have the right systems, and then boom, they grew even bigger.
So it allows you to come a step back.
Yeah, step back and like, okay, I already know how everything works. Now I need to really implement systems, because when I started, I don't know, my team or real estate, it was just kind of like go, because yes, you already have your team. There's no like stopping.
Yeah.
But the analogy she gave me was, it's like, okay, let's say you're gonna go from Laredo to San Antonio, y sabes que una llanta le falta aire, o le tienes que cambiar el aceite. And like, no, hombre, chingue su madre, you go like that. Y luego, a medio camino, pum, se te poncha la llanta, o, se te pasa algo con el carro, y ahora te vas a tardar más en llegar a San Antonio just because like, go. Instead of like, hey, pues let me do that right now that I'm here, fix everything, y llegas allá más seguro, y hasta a lo mejor más rápido, porque you don't have something happen along the road.
Like yeah, taking care of like your health, your own.
Exactly, your mental health, basically.
All right, dude, I'm gonna take it here because you heard. Now you go back, you burn out, and I think it'll go somewhere here, which is, you said you step back and you put systems in place, and that is huge, dude. I think at work, like, I have a lot of like routines, and it makes my job like, as smooth as possible, so that when uncertain things happen, it doesn't faze me as much. Porque I'm like, I have most of the day covered. It's good. But can systems get boring? Do you think like that also is like a slowdown of like?
Well, the thing is, I mean, I feel like success, like, in todo way, the boring stuff is what makes people successful.
Yeah.
And in this case, companies successful. Like, it's the boring stuff that people don't want to do because they're boring. Like in real estate, like making phone calls. You know, there's people that have a fear or like, oh, I know, I don't want to call. Ay, que hueva. You know? But behind that is where success is at.
Yeah.
And like it can become boring because let's say you're gonna call 20 people and you know you have, I don't want to call it necessarily a script, but kind of, you know, you have kind of like what you're going to say, or kind of where guide the conversation somewhere, you know, and that way because you like, oh, one call, hey,
Sounds
okay,
the same.
so you feel like robotic, and that's what can become like boring.
Yeah.
But those are like systems that you
work.
know, and they're called systems because they work.
Yeah, eventually something will hit.
Exactly.
Right? Dude, you said something where you might sound boring. You said if you call, you hit something, it'll come back. But I wanted to build on it, chinga. I forgot. What did you say?
Was it like where, I mean, it's boring, but that's where their success is at?
Yeah, the boring piece is because boring when I say like, oh, it gets like if systems can get boring, like boring, but in a good way, not boring como que you don't have, because you have a system, you're actually putting work in.
Yeah.
It's como gets redundant. You get
Yeah.
routine as, right? No es necesariamente como que I'm bored. What do I do?
But
Nah,
you need to
not
have
that.
a routine.
Yeah, you do. You have to have routine. Oh, intention. Ya se me vino a la mente.
Okay.
You said, I've thought a lot about this, about even with like solo podcasts or whenever you're doing something, you're sharing a message, is script, right?
Oh,
and yeah, you shouldn't have a script. No, sorry. It's not that you shouldn't have a script, but in realidad, I mean, you don't want to open your mouth just to say.
Mm-hmm. You have a format, I guess you could say.
Okay. A guide, a structure.
A guide. It's because, I mean, a script is
Robotic.
Because sometimes we get scripts, like in real estate, like we're like, oh, kind of read them, like, hi, mister. And then it's like, if they answer this or they answer this, like, say this or say that.
Y'all have that, like tools like that.
Yeah. And I think, like,
you need improv.
Like, the purpose of it is, like, to have a structure, a format of what a conversation should kind of, you know, go. Doesn't mean you have to say it word for word. I think it's more of the idea of, like, hey, you say this, and they answer this. Okay, this is where you want to take it. And this is, like, what, a recommended way of saying it. Or just, you know, use it in your slang or whatever.
See, is you at the we had talked about this like
I
a
guess
long
the
time.
culture behind it.
The improv también.
Yeah.
Is it improv donde most of the movies we see, dude, some of the lines weren't read the way they were supposed to be read. It's
Exactly, yeah.
Like the actor added something.
Yeah,
like
you add your
Denzel's
your personality or your
something.
pizzazz or whatever.
Yeah, what have you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Nunca llegamos a la
Okay, I like this question because it talks about kind of what we were talking about before. So, if your success was taken tomorrow, who would you still be? Because like some people can get lost in that.
And the identity.
Of success, I guess you could say.
Yeah, the identity que soy esta persona. So if I lose that part, who am I, right?
Yeah.
I always think you could just take, como si le inviertes, no sé, güey, 8 a 10 horas in like a certain profession or whatever. If that were to go away, then where do you put the 8 to 10 hours? Wow, you get another one. Right? So it goes to, like, I get it. Like, if people lose a success, where would I be? I mean,
like, don't be like, oh, I'll be Oscar. Like,
nah, wait a minute. I'd be creative, dude. Like, it's.
So you're basically saying what your identity is.
What do you mean?
Because if you take away your success, like your position, like in
life, where we're at,
yeah, like where you work and stuff, like who would you still be? You'll be creative.
I'd be a creative. Yeah, creative. Like, a creative person, dude.
Yeah, but like, let's just say in this case, like that.
A leader, like como. Have you ever found yourself like como ahorita you like leading? You like being humorous. You were able to find it, connect right in your profession, and if they took real estate from you, and I don't want to answer for you, but like you give me that
You answer. Don't answer
that
for
part.
me,
Mine, yeah, mine.
Yo
Mine is
contesto.
cases. You ahorita. Mine is I'd be creative, dude. I'd be also like leading, como
Who? You don't have that job anymore.
no, but like a group. It could be like within family, like it's usually like okay, you there's always that person
So
that
okay, you lose your
that
job
leads.
and come back at. Sobres, I'm gonna lead.
I would say I'm gonna stick to. I would still be a creative because I'm creative at work through obstacles and things. Yeah, it doesn't look like paint or art,
Yeah.
but it looks like okay, how can we tackle this issue or whatever came up, right? Or like whatever you're trying to do, and that could be anything. It's still very creative. You still have to think como out of no tienes nada, like you don't know how to add order. Or it's chaos and then you start adding order, right? Is the best way I could put it.
Yeah.
So I would still be able to create that, even if I didn't have that as part of my identity, and I need to look for the next thing. Like when someone retires, like if I wasn't doing what I'm doing, I think I'd be like woodworking, bro, or like building out some furniture. Or like it's still like a creative thing. So I think that's me at the core. I'd still be like watching movies and being like, how did they make that? Because I always wonder like the behind the scenes. I kind of told you this. Like it's like how do like I'm always wondering that, and then like trying to do some of that. So I think I would be a creative individual todavía. And then all the other cheesy stuff, carrying, I would still like
Like the stuff that's normal.
not take it out on someone. Like let's say, and that's things that I've experienced, right? Donde
like,
something happened.
Like good father and all that.
Yeah. ¿Con qué?
Like a good father.
Yeah, like all that. Yes. But if I go like what is me at the core, I think it'd be that. For you, what would it be?
I'd still be like in the comedy. I don't want to say scene, but I've always been humorous.
Do you think you could do okay. Do you think you could do stand-up comedy?
So it's a little weird because, so for me, I guess like my stage fright is more like I empiezo a sudar like chingos. I get real sweaty. I just feel like everyone's eyes on me and everything, and I start sweating, and then I start thinking that I'm sweating, and I start sweating more, and that's what gets me like self-conscious. But I've gotten to a point where it's just like, hey, wait, like, people sweat. I just sweat more than others, and like I'm cool. It's always been a thought. I enjoy comedy. I like to watch like stand-up comedies, like on Netflix and stuff. And I just really like to, I don't know, I get some type of joy of like making people laugh.
Like you haven't identified it, but you get it.
Yeah, and it's funny because they always ask Tanya. They always ask her like, "Has he always been this way? Que esto que el otro?" And she's like, "Yeah." And we were talking about it earlier, how I posted a video today of a face swap.
Okay.
And if you see it, and I tell her like, I'm super weird, babe, right? Estoy bien curioso.
You have that thought about yourself too.
Mm-hmm. But like in a good way. Like I don't mean it.
No, yeah, you're different.
Yeah.
Almost like weird, like piensas de cosas que otra gente no piensa.
We're like, babe, soy bien curioso. And then we started talking about, she brought it up like when they asked her like, hey, has he always been like that? And my mind went back to like different videos that I had. Like there was one time where I had it was like a filter on my face where it made it like elongated, and I don't know why it was I guess a character, I guess you could say, his name was Corn Julio. Oh, from the Beavis and Butthead, I think.
Yeah,
that's right.
I'm Cornolio, no?
Yeah, but mine was Corn Julio.
Because you were like Hispanic or what?
No sé, güey. and then I had like my little segments of, hello, my name is Cornelio, and I'm going to talk to you about the secrets of life. Follow me on this journey. And then I'll say like some pendejada.
Do you have the videos?
I have them somewhere.
Was it Snapchat?
It was on Snapchat, but I would post them
Okay.
like on Facebook.
Bro, y tú no conoces, como te digo, y yo te lo he dicho, güey, fuera de esto de que when I would post like pendejadas and like,
Uh-huh.
it was Snapchat, dude. And so I have one with like a gothic like look, and I'm like almost like, this doesn't faze me. I don't care. But I'm posting all this online.
Mm-hmm.
Y ahora lo veo, and maybe when you're my age, like you're jovencillo, but yeah, you look back, like for me, I look back and I was like, what? I was posting that, but it's like a humor, it's something inside us, way that you think like in voices, but not hear voices, but you think like in characters.
Yeah, dude. Like that's how I think. Cause so I had like the voice for like Cornelio. I did the face swap. And pues he has a voice.
Y habla bien fresilla.
Like,
Mauricio,
sí, hola,
right?
Sí, hola a todos. Les quiero decir que estoy con mi papá. And then also like the walkthroughs of Tanya doing the house. It's like, hola a todos. Soy la chingona de real estate. You know, and then we also did I did a face swap with Tanya like before we would do face swaps, and it was like, hola, soy Darks. Me gusta las cosas emo.
Because it was like feminine, okay?
No, it was like darks, like you're like
Emo.
yeah. So like and like there's been a bunch of like little things que se me ocurren, and I was like, Inga, you know, it's a new character, this or that, whatever. But I really enjoy like doing those.
Dude, man,
se me ocurre algo.
I mean,
y-
we have time. I'm gonna try to look for one of them. Do you have them on Snapchat?
Chinga, it's because I would always delete all that,
Ahora resulta
like all
que
the
you know,
apps.
it doesn't delete, bro. Not Snapchat. And we have time.
Yeah, wait. That and I think for me, it's like people are scared to just like post about like themselves. Like people feel like you have to be a specific way to be part of like accepted by society.
See, I think it's that. I think it's like the because there's ways to connect like with people.
There's a quote. Wait, sorry to cut you off.
You're good.
The guy says, "So how do you treat people?" And what is it like? He said something like acknowledge and accept everyone, but put them in their place. Something like that.
Put them like call them out.
No, put them in their. No, it sounds a lot worse than what I heard.
And yeah, so like going back on that, like people feel, I don't know why we feel that we all have those characters, I guess, in us. Some embrace them, and the comedians that get on stage, bro.
Es que el pedo is like, again, it goes back to society of what like society thing or what society puts as like, oh, this is the way you should be. And again, doesn't mean like you're gonna go out there and be like an asshole and like, you know, to people. It's just like, hey, like be able to express yourself, like, you know. And there's obviously stuff that you tampoco vas a andar ahí ofendiendo gente, talking about like other stuff, you know. There's people that talk about politics and that's their personality and they build a brand with that, and that's fine, you know. And I'm sure they were at one point kind of scared to talk about like their point of view.
Their point, yeah.
Because that's a very like tough subject to talk about. But if like, you know, you feel that urge to like talk about certain things, you know,
talk about it, sure. Yeah, esto es lo que estaba yo pensando, dude, because
a lot of people at work way like, pues, you know, they have the fear of like losing their job or this or that, which I mean, depending where you work, I mean, it could potentially have like,
oh, sí, no, claro,
effect.
but if you're sharing from a good place, man,
yeah,
and especially I'm not talking about like people that create negative content que pues ponen just for the, I don't know, the attention.
yeah,
But if you're sharing from this, like, y es algo que yo vi, güey, when I started like creating art and sharing it online, it was very full of like, oh, chase your dreams and do it because I was doing it. And then eventually, dude, I think I burned out and my art started getting like darker, way. like more like on the sad side y todo. Entonces, but I'm sharing it. I think people wake up with that. Like it's like
but
it
I
helps
think
people
it's
wake up.
but I think it's fine. I think we talked about it like when we finished just the last podcast. It's like, you also have emotions. I feel like you should also, let your
Explore.
explore your emotions. There's times where you're gonna have. I feel like in authors they have like a happy books, they have sad books. Even artists, as far as like
Musicians.
musicians, they have happy songs, they have sad songs, and like they're expressing themselves through their art of music. Um, whether it's happy or sad, they're letting out their emotions, and I feel like it's also good.
You said that like the letting out the emotions, dude, is like I was having a conversation with someone, right? And they were telling me that they hadn't been drawing because they felt that
It was too dark.
it was too dark. And I gave the advice that I can't take myself sometimes.
Yeah.
I said, you need to draw it. You need to get it out of your system. Because behind it, it's gonna be like light and full of like
Mm-hmm.
positive stuff. But you need to get rid of, and I think that's why comedians might write jokes too, dude. They're like self.
Yeah,
Like-
pues como ¿cómo se llama? Robin Williams.
Oh, that yeah, man. It's like
Like
okay,
he said, like, it's not like always check on your I don't know if he said
like a quote.
yeah, he said something like don't always check on like the ones that are like sad and stuff, or like that are not expressive or something like that way, but like check on the ones that are trying to make other people laugh because they might be going through something.
I think a lot. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to generalize y poner a todos, güey, los que hacen a gente reír, que that they're dealing with that. But there's a way of processing that and like making fun of yourself, right? And then
Yeah.
like helping others. Dude, Robin Williams has a, let's see what you think of this. Robin Williams has a quote, and I'm going to botch it up. Pero dice that he used to think that he used to think that the worst thing in life was to end up alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he realized that the worst thing in life is to end up with people that make you feel alone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when even loved ones don't understand you, and there might be people right now stuck way in that. Like it's like they don't know how to say, man, I want to do this. Y se
Yeah.
sienten solos, way, like not supported.
Sí. Sí, porque
What are your thoughts on that? Do you think it happens, or have you heard of someone or someone you know?
Yeah, it's because I feel like a lot of times, people. I feel like it could be like an escape of, of problems and stuff que tienen, no sé, como muchos amigos o algo que, let's say you can have a party and you can invite putazo people. But like at the same time, like you can feel like alone. Like, yeah, like you have your, people there, they support you.
You think it's because they're not able to be their true selves, and so maybe or why do you? I don't know. We're not experts on that, but I think it's a good. Because a lot of this stuff too, dude, like, yeah, we have family and all that, but it requires a lot of in your head moments when you're thinking creatively or you're thinking of what's the next move, even in business. Remove creativity.
Yeah.
Like just in business or even as a dad, bro, or like
Yeah.
you're trying to move somewhere. There's a lot of como thoughts inside. Porque también dicen, pues don't share everything, your next move with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You have to work in silence. And you get me? So there's a lot of that where the person might not be understood, and eventually then they start feeling, me imagino, despegados when that's like the, pues you could also go religious on it, the lost sheep,
Yeah.
you know? So,
Yeah, because, por ejemplo,
sorry. No. I want to cry.
You want to cry with that salsa? Like I think it was like 2 years. I would have a party for my birthday. It was a big party, and pues Tanya would go all out, You know, she would like, don't come to the house. I'm gonna set up the house. Todo el show. Y, and then so it was 2 years. It was called Cesar Fest. It was for my 30th birthday. So you know, it was a big party for my 30th. You know, it's
A
a
milestone.
milestone. And they're like, "Hey, are you gonna do it again?" Oh, it was another day to do, the next year to do it again. So we did it. I was gonna do it again the following year for when I turned 32, but that's when I got hurt, like injured. Me agüité, no hice nada. And then this year, it's like, "Hey, you're gonna want to do something for your birthday, like a Cesar Fest or this or that." And I was like, "Chinga, it's fun." Pero you know, I'd rather just, you know, spend it with my kids. Spend it with my kids. Porque pues no o sea, los niños son prestados, como dicen. And pues I want to be able to like enjoy them. It's my birthday and like they're excited for my birthday, and you know, not saying I'm not gonna go out and celebrate or anything, but I'm todo más tranquilo, dude. Like I one, pues we would have it there at the house. Y era un pedo sacar todo, acomodar, hacer todo este pedo. You know, and no sé, se me hizo, o sea, me dio hueva. You know, con los amigos, you know, te van a hablar. Oye, you know, happy birthday. Y oye, vamos a comer o algo. You know, and I feel like, no sé, güey. Ando en un...
Have you ever, like, in a funk?
No,
Not in a funk, but like a growth moment, maybe, güey. Porque lo estás viendo como no... You're still hanging out with friends. You were at the rancho and all that. Like,
Yeah.
it's like you're still doing fun stuff. We're even recording this. Pero es como que andas dentro, como, yeah, you're just processing things. It's a little different.
It's a little different. I mean, and it's not like, oh, like it's for the good or for the bad. You know, you know, this year I just feel like hanging out with my kids and my wife.
And it's okay. Güey, y eso es también de que you don't know anyone in explanation.
Yeah. And,
It's like, it is what it is. You're still going to have dinner, me imagino, con la familia y todo or something.
yeah, and
but
the thing is, it's also my dad's birthday. O sea,
you all have the same birthday?
Mm-hmm.
How was that growing up, güey?
Well,
It's not like he was having birthday parties, yeah, grande, but yeah, how was that? Like joint parties or what?
Pues it was always like, you know, I guess for me, like growing up, it was always celebrating me. It was both of us. You know, every year we always take a picture together. Because con el pastel, you know, happy birthday, and it's always both of us. I think it got a little bit difficult, like getting a little bit older. Lived in San Antonio, and like, let's say I wanted to celebrate my birthday when I lived in San Antonio. Like I wanted to do something for my birthday over there, but it's like, hey, it's also my dad's birthday, so I want to also celebrate him. So it was kind of tough, like in those moments. But you know, va a llegar un tiempo que pues no va a estar.
Yeah,
So like that's where I think we're like, hey, pues, you know, I'm blessed that I can, you know, share my birthday with my dad.
So you guys are going to have dinner, me imagino.
Yeah.
Mañana.
Sí, mañana.
Let me get you a Coke. Yeah?
No, I got some. Ahí tengo.
You don't want more?
No, I'm good. Did we ask this last time?
What?
Who are you afraid of disappointing?
No. I mean, that can go, but this is... Pues sí, güey.
Like, what's I asked the question, and what's your first thought? Like, because you can...
Bella.
Okay.
Like, because lo acabas de decir, son prestados.
Mm-hmm.
But more, okay, let me frame that out. Yes, bro, Bella. Because to me, like, eres el ejemplo. You're the parents are the ideal, and sometimes, you know, people don't have like the parents as the ideal. Mm-hmm. I get that too. Pero también, if I'm aware,
yeah,
de que, you know, I have a responsibility to be the best version for her, then it's heavyweight. Like that's if I disappointed that would be something that I think Well, I think it's something that drives me. Como te digo, I was sitting down. Let me finish that. Maybe that's where it goes. So I showed her that video.
Mm-hmm.
And I showed her, and then I followed up, and not. So I don't. Well, I'm just sharing it. Just shared, bro, with you. But I told her, you see the kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna see instances like that in life where people get like reprimanded
Yeah.
for being themselves or having fun or being full of joy. You can never lose your joy, ever. Y por cositas que yo y tú hemos estado hablando también. Y se vino. And to me, that's super important, way. And I've said it. It's not the first time I say it for Bella. Like a lot of the podcasts I've done, The Switch, which I started in 2018, there's an episode called The Death Journey, right? And Eric, the co-host, had come across a book where you do an activity where what are they going to say at your funeral? You know, when people get up.
Your obituary.
Yeah, and so you do an activity, and some people wrote out like author of 3 books or family person, but the author of 3 books, and that person was like, I'm not even a writer. Why did I write that? Right? And it's like, you're gonna die, like, and it should drive you. So that's that journey. And so the point here is that before or after the episode, because they were short episodes, I said, when I was 8 years ago, I said, I know Bella will listen to this in the future. And I actually told Bella, all this podcast and everything I do, Bella, you don't understand it right now. But eventually one day you'll be able to like listen back. Imagine Mauricio, imagine your kids to listening to you process thoughts. And I think that's super important. And so, yes, I have the podcast and all that, but I wouldn't want to disappoint her and giving her the school, bro, of life. That shit gets tough. And if I'm just like, oh, everything will be good, then it's not good. I think I should be disappointed. Hey, dad didn't set me up for like the people that are going to try to, I don't know, like shut you down and all that. So I think that disappointing Bella, but I also think that I would disappoint her if I'm not my best version. So I don't want to disappoint me.
Yeah.
And look back and say, ay, güey, se me pasó el tiempo. I think a lot of it, I've always put things on the sideline.
Yeah.
Like, I'll get to it. Y tú me dijiste, like, those are things that I've been proud these last days. Que unos 6-7 días que llevamos when we last recorded. I was like, yeah, wait, like, I wouldn't want to disappoint that. Yeah. But for you, like, where did your brain go? Because you asked it.
Yeah. Well, my brain went to, it kind of went to like a little void of like, what? And then it went to disappointing like my future self. It kind of ties to like what you said at the end, like chinga. Let's say me at being 45 and being like, hey, chinga, yeah, I'm 45. I'm talking about like 12 years from today. Like ya pasaron 12 años y no has hecho ni
lo que querías hacer.
Vergas con tu vida. And like you can't go back in time. You can't get that time back. So like I feel like I'd be like, no mames, 12 años y no hiciste nada. Like that'd be very disappointing to me. And it obviously goes into it falls into like your kids, your wife, and all that stuff too, that like you don't want to disappoint. But I feel like you have to also take care of yourself. You know, we always talk about how like take care of, you know, your family and this and that, but like if you don't take care of yourself, you're not gonna be able to take care of everyone else. So I think for me, like the scared part is, well, not scared part, but like, you know, disappointing myself, my future self, is what I don't want to do. You know, because I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I want. So I want to be able to look back and be like, you know, like where I'm at right now, when I started real estate to where I'm at right now, you know, I feel like where I envisioned myself in real estate is nowhere near where I am now. You know, I just saw myself like, hey, making a living,
surviving.
Yeah, surviving. You know, just
surviving, not thriving.
Exactly. So I saw myself in the future when I started real estate, like, hey, pues, you know, vendo unas, you know, 12, 15 homes a year. That's enough to kind of, you know, and then Tanya's going to have like, her job, and then with our income together, it'll be like a good income to live like a comfortable life. That's what I saw myself, but I started kind of just pushing myself like, hey, pues, if this rely like the success from here relies just solely on me and how I work, pues why not try to go for more? Why not, go for more? And like where I am now, I feel like very blessed, and I feel like I didn't disappoint or haven't disappointed, I guess my younger self, and I want to keep it going.
Yeah, there's a badass quote that I've used que dice, once upon a time you were a kid who had big ass dreams. Don't let yourself down.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
And I think there's a part where it says, once upon a time you were a kid with big ass dreams that you promised you'd make real one day. Don't let yourself down, right? And it's like, yeah, and I agree with that too. And reflecting on that.
Actually, like as parents and stuff, like it's tough way. Like it can be tough to that no te das el tiempo. I talk about it with Tanya sometimes, like, hey, I'll tell her here and there, like, hey, pues, she does real estate. And I've always told her, like, hey, if you like want to do something else, like if there's something that you're really passionate about, like that you want to do, like, just tell me, and like let's I'll help you do it. Like I don't want you just to like regret not doing something that you kind of always wanted to do. If it doesn't work out, that's fine,
But try it.
just try it. Just to at least say like, hey, I tried it. I'm happy with my whole life that I've tried everything I've wanted to do. Because she when we met, she always worked in kind of like boutiques, like clothing boutiques,
Mm-hmm.
and she's always like that. And I would tell her before, like, hey, if you ever want to go into that, just like I'll help you, like whatever you need, like let's go there. Or if it's not that, like if it's something else, but like do something that you want to do. She loves real estate, but she's always like, right now she's getting involved a lot with like the school. And like she's always been like great with kids,
Like the PTC or whatever, the
Yeah.
parent teacher.
yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, parent teacher
Committee or whatever, or something.
Yeah, she's always been great with kids. When we did mission work in India, she was with the orphans, and she's always been gentle with kids. And I told her, like, if like real estate, there's a lot of people that do it kind of part time. And you can still do that, and like whatever it is that you want to do, like I don't want you to feel obligated to do anything, but just if it's something that you've always wanted to try, just try it. Like you have my support. I'll help you do whatever I can do to help. I'm here.
But try it, yeah.
And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's fine, but you tried it. Ya te quitas la espinita de que I've always wanted to do this in my life.
When do you know it doesn't work out? Like porque there's always, have you seen the image where someone está escarbando and it's like a rock, but
And
you
there's
see
like
the
a
diamond.
diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think people have seen that image. And it's like, that lives in me, like even with projects or whatever, where it's like, chinga, pues when do you know that cut the sunk cost, they call it, right? Because you already invested all this money or time.
Yeah. And I know the answer to that. Like when is when you don't have the same drive. When you don't have the same drive, it could be like right there, and even when you get there, you're not gonna have the same drive. You're still gonna, like, now. Let's say it's with clothing.
Yeah.
Let's say you're burnt out. Yeah, you're frustrated. Ya no te, like, you're tired of it. Y luego pega. Now you feel like it's gonna become a job, not something you really enjoy.
Oh shit! That's yeah.
So,
It does make sense because it's like, but then one can, I don't know. I'm just like thinking, like it's like working out, right? Then there's a point where you're like, oh, I don't feel like going, right?
it becomes discipline.
Yeah.
But that's that's different from one's health, and another one is
Yeah. But sometimes
your livelihood.
Yeah, but sometimes it could be like the systems and all that we were talking
Yeah.
about. It should be like where it's like you still gotta show up. Like you still gotta
Or at that point,
adult it or whatever.
At that point, create systems that can help you do
And then go on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that you continue
Partner
growing.
up, you know, like what do they say, the Tower of, or Rome, what is it, Rome wasn't built in,
And when a day, they
no, I
say
don't
Rome
think,
wasn't built in a day.
yeah, but I don't think it's that one that I was going for. It's like you can't no say, but you need people, like you can't just do everything alone. So
Yeah.
if you really want to build something big, you need someone.
I think it's that, bro. I think that's how my brain works sometimes. And that's where I got to be careful with a creative ambition. Porque empiezo algo and then it gets to systems.
Mm-hmm.
And once the systems are there, it's taken care of. I just show up, do this like this.
Mm-hmm.
I could show up, do the stuff, and then I'm like, okay, what's the next idea? Right?
Yeah.
And then you start. So I think it's healthy porque it keeps it going. No te adaptas.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta at one point be disciplined and say, hey, wait, calmala. Like you can't like do everything.
Yeah.
Right? So, all right, man. I think it's that, dude. I think I've had a lot of some time to think through like creativity, and when it becomes very systematic, it's
Mhm.
like an issue
Yeah.
in my life. Like it's like como que le roba lo like the fun, dude.
Yeah, because I don't think creativity should be systematic, because
Ever.
then it's not creative. Like there's certain parts of it that can be systematic, but you can have someone else take care of that part.
Yeah, like like what in a way what you do with some of your videos, right?
Yeah.
Under you get someone to help produce.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, man.
Because once you start doing everything, like in that case, I record. Let's say I record the videos, I edit. I like it. It's fun. Like me recording is fun, but then doing all those steps can get like, not that it gets boring, but it gets kind of annoying. So you take out the fun from it. So if you can get someone to record you, you perform basically, and then someone edits it, then like all you're left to do is just the fun part.
Yeah, that's dude, yeah, you're describing in a way you're describing a little bit of like the podcast journey,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? Because the recording, the production, or not, the
Mhm.
production is like a little more time consuming,
Yeah.
pero there's systems for that now too, which
Yeah.
is making it better.
Yeah, because like, to be honest with you, if I had to like edit and do this for a podcast, I probably wouldn't be doing a podcast. To be honest with you.
I know.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit. No, but talk a little bit about building your metaphor, the metaphor que no sabemos,
Uh-huh.
but like where you need people.
Yeah. It's because you can. Yeah.
And-
So even in like in just bringing it to real estate, like there's, when you want to buy, like start investing in like big properties, like multi-million-dollar properties, you have partners.
Todos invierten tantito.
Uh-huh.
A
You
little
get a
bit of
piece.
their. It's
Yeah.
almost like a little bit of their energy into the
Mhm.
project.
It's like they say, it's better to own 10% of 10 companies than 100% of one company. Because that 100% of the company goes to shit. Yeah, you're left with nothing.
You gotta, what is it? Diversify.
Exactly.
Diversify or
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah, dude. I think it's that. See, that's very genuine way. Lo que
Mhm.
acabas de decir, which is like, yeah, if I had to produce or edit the podcast or whatever, I probably wouldn't be doing one.
Mhm.
Y me acuerdo ahorita de like our conversation before we recorded que dijimos, I'm like, you need authentic friends, dude.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, how do you find authentic people I can say, you know what, that's not my thing,
Yeah.
right? And hay unas cosas para gente y otras cosas para que no es para todos.
Yeah.
Like, for example, the art stuff. Like, at one point, I was interviewing artists, dude, like one-on-one for this magazine. And I was kind of looking at the stuff. And I was going back. I'm like, oh, shoot, I would tell their story. So I've always been on the behind the scenes.
Mhm.
Like, let me tell your story. Almost like, even when I met you and I'm like, okay, it was like this podcast, I'll be co-hosting,
Uh-huh.
but like I could produce it. But there's stuff that I don't do that other artists do. Like, I don't like want an art show. I don't want to put my art at a art show. Like, it's como hay aspectos que I'm like, nah.
Mhm.
Right? But I think like being authentic and sharing that with like Sketch in this case, and him
Yeah.
understanding, oh, okay, Oscar like doesn't like that. I think that is friendship. Like,
Mhm.
it's like where you're not pushed into things que no
Yeah.
quieres hacer, güey.
Yeah.
Right? How do you think, like, if you had to explain like the authentic piece, because I interviewed you last year.
Uh-huh.
right, for my show where I was interviewing and I titled it "Be Authentic."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think, and it ties kind of back to the whole posting stuff of like, being yourself and all that stuff. It's like, wait, just be. It's easier to be yourself than to pretend to be someone else.
Oh yeah, same way. It's
Like, chinga, I have things que, o sea, yo me canso con, trabajo and this and that. Like, I don't want to pretend to be someone else. Like, qué hueva, güey. Like,
Do you think there's a lot of that going on online?
I think so, eh. It's it, it gets kind of annoying way where like everyone puts on like a front, like, and I get like when you have to do presentations and this and that, but even I've done like career days at schools and stuff, and I tell like the way I'm talking to you, I talk to them.
Oh,
you
see.
know like I don't want them to feel like scared to go into some type of a career because hey, so here in real estate the way we work, like, no way, like,
Yeah.
it's not like that way. And people can have their opinions of like how to be in professionalism y todo, and that's fine. There's, o sea, hay para todos. There's different niches, or como se diga, um for different types of agents and this and that. O sea, pero hay para todos.
Sí, cada quien paga con atención, dude, and it's
Yeah.
their time. They have authority over it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, because like everything's
Yeah.
pulling, right? Attention ban. Sound good, man. We finished the tacos.
Yeah.
We'll wrap it up there.
We'll wrap it up. Don't be silly. Wrap your willy.